Hi everybody, this is Jonathan Schrantz, and today I'm going to share with you two more games I've played in the Nakhmanson Gambit since I uploaded my last video. It was really popular, you guys gave it a lot of comments, so I'm really excited to hear that you guys enjoyed the video. So I did want to do a quick follow-up, and I wasn't going to make this video, I wasn't planning on doing it, but we did have a request from a viewer on YouTube who said, do you have any suggestions if black takes the knight on move 6, knight takes c3? So for Rizka, we will be going over that today. I'm going to take a look at this. I really wasn't going to show this first game that I played because I'm playing an International Master, but I really didn't play that well. I was losing for most of this game and then won by flagging. But then I woke up this morning and got a huge crush with the Nakhmanson Gambit. So yeah, we're going to show you both these games. This one, not so great. Second one, huge crush. I hope you guys enjoy it. So if you haven't seen the first video, the link will be in the description below. You guys can head back, check it out, get to know where I'm at with the Nakhmanson Gambit. But here it is, game 2. I'm playing an International Master. I, of course, play the Bishop's opening. I'm trying to get an Ursov Gambit, so I start with Bishop to c4. But again, you can get this out of the Italian and out of the Scotch Gambit. I now play the move d4, and after takes here, I'm hoping they take on e4, hoping to get an Ursov Gambit. But like most of my opponents, they declined the gambit, and knight to c6 was played in this game. And again, there's e5, there's castles, there's the crazy knight g5. I like castles with the idea after knight takes e4, we can play the Nakhmanson Gambit. So not rook e1, which looks like the only move, but knight to c3, this crazy knight sacrifice. And the question at hand was, what happens if they don't accept the gambit? And well, funnily enough, right after I received this comment on YouTube, I played a game, and right away, somebody played this move, knight takes c3. So I've been doing a little bit of research. I don't like the way I handled it in the game, and I hope to share with you guys a couple of the secrets here. And in this game, I played, what I kind of remembered was basically the computer line, which was to take, and then after d5, play bishop to b5. So this all seems pretty fine. I think I will even turn on the computer. Let me guys know in the comments below if you'd like that. You guys usually like to see what's going on here. But having done a little bit more research just earlier today, I think the real way of playing this is actually probably rook to e1, when right now it's only the bishop that can realistically block. In the future, if you allow d5, then potentially bishop to e6 will be one way to block. So if you're going to insert this rook e1, it perhaps makes sense to do it now, and only now take. And yeah, one of the reasons is you're setting an immediate trap I think a lot of people will fall for. They have to play a move like d5. If they, for example, go for this pawn, you can see right away, this is a huge trap. I think a lot of people might just want to take that pawn, and then knight g5 ends the game. Like, knight g5 just wins. You're attacking f7. They're going to have to play like rook f8, which isn't going to work. If they castle, of course, the idea is queen to h5. Huge pressure here, threatening a mate. No great way to stop it. What's funny is if they take this knight, you just take back with the bishop. Queen's got nowhere to go. You can't block with the knight. You can't move this pawn because it's pinned. So this is a huge disaster for black. If you have to play a move like rook f8, this also, you're just going to be under huge pressure. The computer says you can even take here if you want, or just increase the pressure. Queen f3. This is going to be a huge disaster for black. So there's this nice little trap that's already set after you take back, but a wiser opponent will probably play d5 or castle, just ignoring it. And after bishop to b5, again, there's this same sort of trap where they really better castle otherwise here, and there's going to be tricks. Now I want to show you the game. This will be kind of similar to what happens in the game because my opponent does go in for this mistake. So right here, after d5, my opponent did actually take on c3. And I feel like I actually didn't do myself a lot of justice. I had this sort of idea of playing rook e1, getting a bishop to e7, and then starting to attack it. But in the game, and I'll keep the engine on because I think some people will prefer it this way, I think I've actually attacked this bishop from the wrong diagonal. I feel that had we already inserted these moves earlier, for example, there's a lot of tactics based on the fact that we can actually attack the bishop from the other angle, not allowing f6, which I thought would be a weakening move when I played my game, but from this diagonal. So you can imagine, for example, if they make a mistake, like let's say I attack this knight again, then they should play like queen d6. If they play like here, for example, they've already sort of messed up because I can play queen a3 with or without taking this knight. For clarity's sake, you can imagine if we take this knight, however they take back, we are going to win by bringing the bishop to the other diagonal. I should be thinking about bishop to a3 rather than bishop to g5. Heading back to our game now, here's what really happened in the game. After this capture, my opponent took back, played d5, and they did take here, and I missed this opportunity. So I missed this chance to really bring the pressure now. I should be trying to either attack this knight, put this rook on the e-file, something like knight to d4, and asking a whole bunch of questions. So the computer wants here and here. And yeah, I think after here, there is some pretty funny lines that I could have gone for. You can see one of the computer moves is queen to g4, just attacking pressure here. Bishop to g5 is also a good idea, stopping castling. And I even like this remarkable move, which I guess isn't on the computer's radar, but I was playing around with this one. This seems to work well for white, not that it's the best, but the idea is that if they take, you get to smash through here. So I think there were probably a lot of tactics in this position after this capture. So capturing on c3 is definitely a mistake by my opponent, but I think a lot of people are going to do that. You see that pawn there, and you realize white's about to recapture on d4, so they want to snap it off. But they're underdeveloped here, so if I could have got pressure on this pin piece, put my rook here, something like this and this, with the idea following up with queen to a3 and potentially swinging this queen in here very, very quickly, I could have got a powerful attack. As the game went on, I played bishop to g5, and this is wrong. f6 was simply a good defensive move, and after here, king f8, I was hoping after here there would be some glorious move for me. There's totally not. I'm like, how can I hang my bishop? I want to put my queen somewhere. I want to go to one of these two squares, let him take, and then do something, do something really cool. Where's my follow-up? Where's my checkmate? But it's just not here. This pawn structure is actually super, super strong for black in this position. So, yeah, now I'm in a lot of trouble, and it doesn't really work out very well for me. Here I go in for a tactic. Doesn't really work out. Yeah, I don't think we need the engine to tell us what's going on anymore. It's not important. And my opponent has 50 seconds. I have a minute and a half. If you guys have watched me a lot on Twitch, you'll know that I'm not opposed to flagging people. This is pretty much an example of what you can expect to see if you come follow me live. There'll be a lot of losing, 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 and then miraculously winning. So here I delivered a bunch of checks. Now my opponent has 15 seconds. I have 40. So, boom. That's when you shock him. You don't repeat. He was allowing me to repeat there, but I didn't. I grabbed the queen. So, snuck a queen in, and now I'm going to actually win this game. Took his bishop too. Took all of his stuff. And yeah, now I'm winning. I wasn't really planning on showing this game because I don't feel like it was the best play by me, but I did get the win. And just to repeat really quick, I do feel like in this position, if they take with the knight, probably important step number one is insert this immediately and then recapture, where black is going to have to find some good plans. They don't want to recapture right away. They should probably continue something like this with castling immediately, and you take it from there. Still a very interesting position with a lot of possibilities for both sides. This might be a real challenge, though, to the Nakhmanson. So let me know, guys, if you play this and if they take on c3 with the knight, if that's the thing that's giving you a headache. Okay, so I wasn't going to show that game, but then this morning I woke up, and as you can see, I'm having a bit of a bad day. I've fallen below 2,300 here. But then Nakhmanson appeared on the board, and I was feeling great about it. So we get this position one more time, and this was a really good game by comparison to that last one. This was a really good game, so I do want to share this one with you. This is what happens, again, when they take. And this game I actually played pretty well. So this one I'm actually happy to keep the engine on for. So this is one more example of what happens when they take on c3. In the game, I took on f7 right away, played queen to d5, and now I'm right in my comfort zone. So here, he's gone right into the prep. I play rook to e1. I take this knight back and play bishop to g5. You bring the other rook in. And the position really plays itself. It's very easy to play. They're just under tremendous pressure. And like I said in the first video, they got to play something like king f8 here. My opponent didn't find it and went for knight to e5. Looks kind of logical, but it just has this humongous flaw that now I simply take and I'm already winning. So this was another tremendous victory for the Nakhmanson. My opponent did well to survive for a while. I even found this accurate move, queen takes g7, was happy about that one, and then simply took this rook, take the pawn, and you can tell this is already super, super crushing for me. So yeah, I went here just to make sure that I can get this pawn, and I'm also threatening rook to d4. So I liked queen to g7, seemed like a pretty good move. And here I even took, and now gave this check first, just making sure that king stays in the middle. My opponent is going over to try to checkmate me, so I cut that out. Yeah, this one, you can tell. And a couple things were missed here. It wasn't perfectly accurate play, but it was definitely good enough. Here was, I did make one small little boo-boo. My opponent went here, and I can take that rook. I didn't see it during the game. I just allowed this to happen, and then after queen to d4, we're going to be simplifying to a pretty easy position for me to win. So my opponent resigned. He's going to have to go back. I'm going to get this rook off the board, and it's going to be pretty simple for me to win that position. So this was another model game, just another crush of what happens when they accept the gambit. This is obviously what we're hoping for. Super dangerous. You want people to take here. But yeah, I just wanted to make this video real quick to answer a viewer question. So let me know in the comments below. Definitely, I'm listening to all the comments. So if you guys have a request for a variation, or you see something in a video and you want me to explore it, feel free to let me know, and I might just make a video on it.